material or spiritual, moving or non-moving, everything is actually coming from Krishna. And whatever is getting emanated from these things also is coming from Krishna. It is Krishna's energy only. So that is called actual intelligence. So in that way we can see everything is actually we receive. So here also we say that Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that ideal person, he follows his duties for what? At least to set the order, an ideal example, right? So there is a verse, the line which you are reading, Krishna actually says in Bhagavad Gita like Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vivaksa. All these four orders are actually created by me. But he does not come into these orders. He has not forced, he is not bound to follow all these four orders. That means all the duties of these four orders are also not binding Krishna. In that way we can see that still, if you go, I have kept some certain things for our, so if devotee can present Bhagavad Gita 3.21. So this is the famous verse everyone might be knowing. Yad yad achrati shreshtas tat tat evetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So this is third chapter where very much emphasis Krishna gives on performing our duties, one's duties. So this verse come which I was referring. Whatever action a great man performs, common man follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So immediately a question can come, sir, what about you? Krishna is speaking these words, but he has not established his full supremacy. Here and there he has spoken a little bit about, but till now he hasn't spoken exactly the kind of scene he sets by the 11th chapter, where he, by showing his form, Virat Roop, he sets the standard that, see, this is I am not bound. His form was also boundless, and whatever vibhutis he spoke in 10th, 11th chapters about himself, those are also like each and every place he is present, but he is not bound within those things. So anyone reading this verse could immediately think, oh, is it? Then what about you? Because you are speaking, you are beyond. Then further verse we'll read. 3.22. I'll not go through the verses, or I'll read quickly. Name parthasti kartavyam rishu lokeshu kinchana nanvaptam abaptavyam vart eva cha karmani. Translation: O son of Pratha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor I am in want of anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. So here we say that first thing he told that we need to set example, especially the leaders. But here we see that he himself is saying, for what? I need, nor have I need to obtain anything, yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Now question may come, why? What is the need? Then further we'll go, one more verse. There are four verses, very nice. Yadi hi aham na varteyam, 3.23 Bhagavad Gita. Yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmanyatandritah mam vartmanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvasa. Translation: for if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Parth, certainly all men would follow my path. So any example you remember? People want to follow. Yes, Proji, Gordham Proji immediately picked up. Still there is no question of Krishna telling you follow this. Still people follow. What? Ras Leela? Ras Leela in the sense, it is a degraded form in which every person wants to enjoy himself, considering he is like Krishna. So Prabhupada has chastised again and again, what about lifting Govardhan? Right? That we cannot do. Right? It's very difficult. What about killing Putana when he was just few days old? What about killing so many demons with bare hands? Where is that supremacy or Godhead which we speak about? So therefore, he is saying that if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties or path, certainly all men would follow my path. Even without speaking, we see so many celebrities nowadays. Like I remember critically that in 2011 or 12th, not sure, even before that, that's not important. There was a movie Dawn 2, right? So people went there to watch, and I saw my seniors in school, those who were pros. We see backbenchers, they are very pro to, running away from the classes, bunking. So I was in government school, so that was very common. As soon as first period of session started, they were very eager, looking always outside, when there would be time to go out. So they just bunked, and next day they were discussing about, whatever all was there. I'm not sure. I haven't watched that movie yet and don't have desire also. But one thing they categorically replied that, wow, what a nice way. Saruk Khan used to, throw cigarette in some particular way, after smoking. So they were very fond of. So that's what happens automatically, or the bad things which are not required, you know, mind automatically picks up those things because there is a tendency in mind to churn or chew those things which are very much, insignificant, unimportant, or which are going to degrade us. Like the water, in water, there is a tendency always, it always comes from higher potential to low potential. Similarly, mind, you never need to allow or put any effort. Automatically, it will degrade. You see any good picture outside, but immediately one bad scene and you'll be stuck there and you'll be munching on it. Although there might be hundreds of things to munch upon which are very good in nature. So that's nature of mind. So therefore Krishna very clearly saying that it's very important. Otherwise, all men will follow my path because I am not performing my duties. And then comes final 3.24. उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं संकरस्य च कर्ताश्याम उपहन्यामिमाः प्रजा. Translation: If I did not perform prescribed duties, if I did not perform prescribed duties, it is in past. What does it mean? He had been already performing. So therefore he is saying it's past participle form. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these words would be put to ruination. Why? Because Krishna only says that to establish the dharma, who comes? Krishna. Yada yada hi dharmasya, very famous verse. At least without ISKCON, that was put on the walls of so many people, or they would have gone through. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata avyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamyam. So Krishna saying that to abhyutthanam adharmasya, to remove this earth from the burden of very degraded society, demonic culture, he comes to establish the real dharma. And to perform prescribed duties, what does it mean? When he performs prescribed duties, people are understanding, oh, he is doing so many mystical things. He's doing so many wonderful things. Still he's following. Then what about us? We also need to do that. Like when I read about Yudhishthir Maharaj, that he played, he did gambling. So I was pretty much shocked. How is it? He's Dharmaraj. At least this much is known to everyone. Four pillars of Dharma. And even if it is prescribed that Kshatriya can do, but still he knows it is not good. So then Prabhuji shared, and it is there in Mahabharata also. I heard from Prabhuji that it was just that incidence was there to give lessons to all of us, not only Yudhishthir Maharaj, to all of us through Yudhishthir Maharaj, that even if person of such a caliber like Yudhishthir Maharaj, knowing everything, doing for the sake of duty because there are senior who has asked to do it. There is a code of conduct for Kshatriya, he cannot run away when challenged. There is a code of conduct that he can play, there is no sin in doing that. Still, when he performed, he was tricked. That's part of gamble. So that was the lesson for us. So similarly, Krishna established these dharma to show that if not followed, then what all consequences can be there. Then he says, I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Right. So it is very much surprising that Krishna, like in this, translation, Prabhupada says, apparently Lord Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahman. Is it true? Because Lord Krishna says, like I quoted 4.13, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhaksa. So how would you justify this? Apparently Lord Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmanas. Was he worshipped by Brahmanas or he worshipped Brahmana? So I have some other quotes also. He worshipped Sudama, isn't it? He went to meet one Brahmana in Mithila, if I am correct. There is a pastime. Okay. He worshipped Narad Muni when he came. He went to Shandipni Muni and studied there. So then what do you say? Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmanas. Is it true? Do you have any reference where Brahmanas worshipped Krishna? Anyone would like to share anything? No. There are two, three incidents. Yes. First thing you all can remember. Yes, that is the very first pastime, where all those Brahmanas who were, in Vraja and they were performing their prescribed duties, yagyas, they said, no, 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 not. Our yagyas are not done. How can we give prasad? It's not possible. Then he sent them to Yagyapatnis because he knew what is in their heart. And they immediately accepted, they cooked, and whatever they had, they took and rushed to that place where Balram and Krishna were playing. And they were very happy. And what was the, Falin Parichayat? So what was the consequence? When Brahmanas came to know, Prabhupada writes, then they were very much dissatisfied. They were unhappy. Oh, we had missed an opportunity, because that was the way they could have pleased. Because what is the purpose of doing that yagya? Like in case of Prathu Maharaj, when Lord Vishnu had already appeared, Lord Brahma had appeared, then what is the purpose of doing that yagya? It is ultimately to please, but Vishnu had already appeared and he told, don't do this. So to accept that needs, that intelligence, that sanity of mind, which we need to cultivate. So one incidence is of that. Then another incidence is like when Narad Muni comes, Krishna book or Srimad Bhagavatam 10.769 chapter, where Narad Muni is visiting the palaces. After when Krishna has killed all the Asuras, and foremost was the Bhasma, not Bhasmasur, Banasur or Bhaumasur, we say. So, yes. So, there is that pastime that Narad Muni saw. Oh, now he has married 16,100 wives, and there is a great chance that I can create some Leela, that is the mood of Naradji. So, he thought, I'll check what is happening. And when he came, there were palaces. Actually, there were 9 lakh palaces. Prabhupada mentions. There were in total 9 lakh palaces in Dwarka. And out of that, 16,000 were of Krishna, 16,108. So he went in each and every palace. So there it was that Krishna, first seeing the Narad Muni, received, he just came and he put his throne on the foot of Narad Muni and he received him like, the way Kshatriyas or kings used to receive Brahmanas. But immediately when Narad Muni is leaving, he is requesting and praying, please keep me in your prayers. I have only one desire, that I can always remember, whichever be the situation, I can always remember your feet. Same Sodama says, oh Lord, you have done so much for me. What can I do for you? Even I could not bring anything. And whatever I brought, that was very, filthy. It was not clean, good, but still you accepted just for, pleasing me. And your devotees are always like that. So always see Although Krishna, in the Leela of Krishna or in Rama, whenever he is worshipping Brahmanas, apparently, immediately, what you will say, other devotee or those who are Brahmanas, they're also worshipping Krishna. And Mataji told about the Rajsuya Yajna, right? So that is also example. Krishna had taken the service of what? Washing the feet, taking the pattals, putting them aside. Very menial service. And still, at the end, what happened when there was discussion that who would be seated for the ultimate personality to worship, because they need some leader in that assembly. So generally, there were so many people present there. Brahma, Vishnu, Prabhupada quotes that. And not only that, Vyasdev was there, leader of the Brahmanas there. So many rishis, saptarishis were there. But immediately all in unison, what they decide? Who should be seated? Krishna. So that is one incident. Another incident, anyone remembers? Brahmaji worshipping after Brahma. Yes, foremost Brahmana, Brahmaji, who is the father of all the Gotras, whatever we hear, Saptarishis, Brahmanas, and he himself is worshipping whom? Krishna, right? Indra, apparently same, because Indra is worshipped in the yajnas. There is a specific ahutis for him, but he himself worshipping. There are two incidences. First incidence was when he tried to kill the Vrindavan Basi. Second incidence was, anyone remembers? In this way, we will be able to remember that how Krishna performs his duties specifically to please his wife Satyabhama. Parijat tree he had brought. So when he defeated Indra, he came to the senses, and then he again requested. Mother Devhuti was also there. So these all incidences are there. So in this way, we can see that Krishna, although apparently Lord Krishna was a Kshatriya and was not worshipable by the Brahmanas, that might be seen from the order of those social order what we observe. But the Brahmanas present there, headed by Srila Vyasdev, all knew him to be the personality of Godhead, and therefore they worshipped him. Then the Lord reciprocated the greetings just to honor the social order, that a Kshatriya is obedient to the orders of the Brahmanas. So this is also another big lesson for us. Generally, it is seen that, you know, in discussion with Sri Sanatan Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual abhushan or actual, uh, ornament for a Vaishnava is following his Vaishnava etiquettes. And actually following the orders of the society also comes under that, following the Vaishnava etiquette, right? So in that way, there is a very important thing for us to understand. Generally, it is seen in devotees that, you know, so many people would be around you who want to reciprocate with you, have some dealings, personal dealings with you. But it is often seen that we have our own desire to connect with someone else. And we keep on ignoring those people, and therefore we miss the good friends. I have heard Prabhuji. What challenge comes, Gaurang Prabhu also I heard about that. In Prerna lecture, he mentioned that challenge comes, we all are looking for a love, and there you will find some people trying to repose love on you or upon you. But problem comes, we never identify them, because with our own mind we have some preconceived notions, and we always look for those persons. So we are trying to have love from some other person, and somebody is already reposing love upon us, but we are ignoring them. But in terms of Krishna, you see, who are these people? Immediately when you see that he is entering into the Dwarika, so many Dwarikavasis comes, and he is able to reciprocate with each and every one of them, even the Vaishyas. What to speak of others, right? How is it possible? So that is all also one lesson for us to maintain good relationships, especially if we all look for a friend, friend in need, because we are always in need, some or other need, right? So challenge is there that so many people are around us who are trying to repose love, within us. And we can observe that by seeing that who is trying to approach us more often. So you'll see many people try to approach us for association, relationship, but we ignore that. And we try to approach in similar way some other person. And that relationship is halt. But here you see, Krishna, so many people would be reciprocating, giving him Supreme Personality of Godhead, all attractive. But what it is told, just to honor the social order that a Kshatriya is obedient to the orders of the Brahmana, the Lord reciprocated the greeting. So this word is very important, greetings. So we should always, you know, reciprocate with greetings. It is seen generally in the assembly of a Vaishnava. You'll see whenever you meet some Vaishnavas would be there who would be very eager to meet you. In their eyes you would see, but generally we tend to, ignore because we are looking for something, and generally tendency is that we always look up. Who is going to give me something, you know? And in that way we ignore who are there, equals or juniors, whatever we consider. But in that way, we never have that fulfilling relationship because we have never invested in that way. And that becomes a bottleneck for making friends. We always tend to have friendship. Like in school days, you will find students would be like bees around those who are toppers, whose notes are good, who are good looking, who are charming, or doing some extracurricular activities a lot. And there would be some people who are not into that, but they are trying to connect you, or they are trying to connect some other person, but they get ignored, right? So there is a one easy way to find a good friend. What is that? Observing this, right? Those who are trying to repose love on us, those who are trying to give attention to us, if we just give some time to them, they'll be our well wisher, they'll be our good friend, and we'll be able to have that feeling for which we actually look for relationships, fulfillment, content. So that is very easy way. And lesson is that we should be in a mood of greeting, especially in the assembly of Vaishnavas. You'll always see, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many things are mentioned. And up to what the stature is that Raghunath Das Goswami used to offer at least 1,000 times obeisances to Vaishnavas and 1,000 times to Krishna. I remember we are in this, you know, Vaikuntha, in this wonderful hall where Lord Krishna is seated. But personally, I find myself very difficult to offer Vian 2 or 3 times, whenever darshan is open. And Lord is always there. Such a pity. Especially seeing the Vaishnavas also, it sometimes happens that we try to ignore, adjust certain things like, oh, it is done. So if we live like that, adjusting, then at the time of death, our consciousness would also be adjusted to be here only. We can never transport it to the Golok. It's not possible because we have not committed, we are not ready. So while doing adjustments, it's totally impossible to, think that, okay, I'm doing everything and we'll be going there. It's very difficult. It's not possible. So greetings, very important for a Vaishnava. Whenever Mahaprabhu says actually Vaishnava is that who, by seeing whom, ultimate Vaishnava, there is a qualities Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described, and one devotee has asked 3 times. So finally he says that actual Vaishnava is that by seeing whom you remember Krishna, or you able to speak about Krishna. And another incident comes where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is an offense if at receiving the Vaishnava or seeing a Vaishnava, we are not happy. So what is the first sign of being happy? First sign of being happy is at least greeting. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, happy to see you. Something, whatever we know as an etiquette or offering obeisances. So these are very small things which we can include. Otherwise, how do we show we are happy at receiving the Vaishnavas? There is no way. So first thing, following etiquettes, Vaishnava etiquettes, always being respectful. And second thing is, at least we can give a smile. Like in terms of hosting a guest, there are some outlines, there are some things. So it is told that if you have nothing, Krishna has given at least one thing. What is that? Smile, palms, folded hands. At least we can do that much. So we should be very, careful and reciprocating, you know. And then finally, last part, like although Lord Sri Krishna was always offered the respects due to the Supreme Lord from all responsible quarters. It's amazing to think, wherever you are going, people are looking at you. Even the what to speak of people, even the animals, birds, bumblebees, humming around you always, like when we go out and stand somewhere in the, uh, field, we see that mosquitoes over our heads, right? That's our status. And when Krishna goes, you'll see in photos that bumblebees and honeybees, nice birds chirping, trees, just uh, turning towards, to give shade, nice breeze coming from Yamuna carrying the water droplets. You know, Such a person, all loving, all caring, so attractive. Even the animals cannot leave that association. And for such a person, he's receiving from every quarter. It's like, same. He's giving also. That's what we understand from Prabhupada's purpose. But the Lord never deviated from the customary usages between the four orders of society. So that is again lesson for us. So I was just reading to prepare this today morning, 17th chapter. There everyday routine of Sri Krishna Bhagwan is mentioned. So there comes very wonderful thing, and two times it has come in 69th and 70 both. That when Narad Muni also observed Krishna early in the morning, so he saw that Krishna used to get up from the bed and then he would do meditation, right? So it's in parampara. Krishna is establishing that. But only difference is Prabhupada immediately mentions he knew that there are rascals who will meditate on God know what. So he told, but Krishna meditated upon whom? His own self. And that is to show us by example that you need to meditate upon Krishna. He is source of all and everything. What is the need? He used to do yagyas 6 times. You know, he used to do Gayatri. These all things are mentioned there, right? And he will be giving charity. And there was a specific number also, 13,022 something. Cows he used to give in charity every day. You know, just think of giving 13,000 cows every day standing. So many brahmanas coming. You know, just from that perspective, it's mind-boggling these numbers. uh, and so there are so many things like, and special mention is this about that Krishna, while doing all these things, it looked like it's natural for him. Like when Narad Muni in one of the palaces meet when Krishna, so there he asks him, he is playing chess, he's playing chess with Satyabhama and Uddhav. All three are present there. As soon as he saw, then immediately he gets down from his, place where they're sitting. He keeps aside his throne, offers Dandavats, respectfully, welcomes him and immediately says, "Oh Naradji, we are Grastas. What we have, we are always, bound in these all homely household duties. How can we there is no chance of, getting liberation and all those things, And he's speaking, Narad Muni is being affected, by hearing this. Although he understand who Krishna is. Why? Is it something he's making joke out of it? No. And then immediately Narad Muni, folds hands and he understand he is going to get so much, humiliated kind of internally, by hearing these things. So then he decides at first palace he had asked so many things, Belving and all this. After that, just he thought, I'll visit and observe what is happening. So, because discussion, I'll feel like what is happening. So it is mentioned that he just went there, he saw and moved to the next palace to see. So, Krishna is actually doing all these things for what? To not make a show, to actually empower us by seeing or reading these pastimes. We'll be forced to think, am I doing my duty nicely? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing Haridas Thakur, always used to say this thing that Apani Achari Prabhu Jeeve Ras Sikhaye. So he used to say that why Haridas Thakur is the best preacher. Sanatan Goswami also had same verdict. Why? Because he is best preacher because he is doing what he is preaching. He says that Namakari Baudha Nija Sarv Shakti, everything is there in Nam. But he used to chant also 192 rounds, not times. Like Gaurang Prabhu says that there was one person who used to visit him at Bhaktivedanta Hospital at Mira Road someday. So he used to meet him and say that, oh, Gaurang Prabhu, what is the need? I'm doing all my things. I'm giving donation. I'm coming here, hearing you also. What is the need? I don't have that much time. Why to chant 16 rounds? Then Gaurang Prabhu says, yeah, it is important because Prabhupada has said. So we are doing. Krishna at least had said Satnam Kirti Antumam 24 hours. Prabhupada mercifully just gave, 16 hours, 16 rounds for 2 hours. I don't have that much time. I have so many operations to do, this, that. I go, okay, okay, okay. You can do eight. Eight? Then four? No, not possible. Then finally he agreed for one round. But after some days, when again Gaurang used to give lectures there at Bhaktivedanta Hospital. Again, after a few days, he said, what? You have given me 10 minutes task? It's really impossible for me. So many patients come, so many phones comes, emergency call comes. My wife says, why don't you better stay at hospital only? Why do you come here? I don't have time. So then finally it was agreed that he will chant at least 54 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then Gaurang says, no, no, not half. 64 is better number. You chant for 64. So 64 times you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So after that, then he was happy. And whenever he used to meet Gaurang, he'll say, बढ़िया चल रहा है, you know. So one time it happened, he was, in the assembly of his fellow brahmacharis, and he was passing by. गौरंग प्रभु हरे कृष्णा, बढ़िया चल रहा है 64 अपना, 64 बढ़िया चल. So everyone was shocked. What kind of preaching you are doing, Gaurang Prabhu? He's chanting 64 malas. So Gaurang Prabhu told, no, Baba, not 64. He's just chanting 64 mantras in a day. So why I'm narrating this, because we don't find times, when don't find times to have all these things. But 192 rounds, he used to chant, not for show off. He had that much time. Along with that, taking care of Tulsi, meeting the Vaishnavas, giving lectures. He used to preach. There are so many incidences where he's preaching, like to the parents of Raghunath Das Goswami in one cave. So many pastimes are there. They're visiting, they're going for preaching also. So sometimes when I think of kitchen, I'm, always mind allures that, oh, I'll have something to say. Book decision pe, बहुत ज़्यादा सेवा है weekends, somehow adjust it. I'm not that much prone to book distribution somehow. So, but I see that after chanting these many rounds, they and Nityanand Prabhu, they are the first preachers. Anadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. So they all started from Surbi Kunj and Mayapur, started preaching. They have time for preaching also. And not like we do put a table. They go door to door. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Apani Achari Prabhu Jivere Sikhaye. So therefore, in that way, Haridas Thakur, Lord's devotee, is also ideal. By his example, he's showing that not only speaking, but actually doing those things, right? Some other pastimes also I remembered where Krishna, by following, his duties, he's presenting it in that way that we need to follow the duties. Like at the time of meeting Sudama, he came out of his palace, received him, and not received only with loving words. Tears were flowing from his eyes, constantly. And it's told that देखी सुदामा की दीन दशा करुणा करके करुणा निधि रोए पानी परात को हाथ छुयो नहीं नैनन के जल सौ पग धोए पानी परात को हाथ छुयो नहीं नैनन के जल सौ पग धोए. Just by crying, weeping, receiving him, he just, bathed the feet of Sudama by his tears. So, and not only that, After that, Rukmani also came and she served like the maid servants serves the guest or some very honorable person. So by his example, he is showing, how is it. So that is the pastime. He receives Sudama, right? And gives everything actually in reciprocation to few morsels of chipped rice, poha. Then there is a pastime of Krishna meeting Pandavas first time. So if you remember first time, it was news all over the world that Pandavas are dead, killed after the Lakshagr incidents, right? But then they heard that there's Swayamvar going on and Krishna inspired them. Kunti Devi also allowed, okay, you go attend the ceremony, right? Not directly, but she had faith. So, like Pandavas went, especially Bhima and Arjuna, they were the leaders in terms of like, going there. So they were sitting in the assembly, and there was the first time Krishna and Balram also had come, not to participate because they were invited, by Drupada for the Swayamvar of Draupadi. So there comes the time that after that incident, when they defeated everyone those who were attacking, when Arjuna won that Swayamvar, he was going, then some Kshatriyas attacked. Hey, you Brahmanas, you are insulting us. So in that way, many Kshatriyas attacked on Pandavas, especially Arjuna. Then he defeated them and then he went into the forest. Drupada was very sad and sorry. What will happen? I was thinking some good prominent Kshatriya would come who will have so much wealth and everything, and I'll give my this Lakshmi like daughter, Draupadi to him. But what had happened? Brahmana paupers, how you will take care? And she's not accustomed to, she's a Chatrani, she's from royal family. How she'll manage? And all those things he was thinking. Then Vyasdev goes there to pacify him, and Krishna goes in search of Pandavas, and there pastime comes where he meets Pandavas in the forest, who are still considered they are dead. So there comes when he meets time. That is the first meeting of Pandavas and Krishna. Before they have only heard about. Pandavas used to hear about Krishna's pastime, and Krishna used to hear from his ministers, especially Satyaki and one more person who came for picking Krishna from Mathura. What's his name? I'm missing. Akrur. He used to send them and he used to inform after visiting Hastinapur, giving message or sharing message. But they haven't seen each other. So in that first meeting, Krishna immediately what did he do? He was with Balram. So he first offered Dandvats, it is told. To whom? Yudhishthir Maharaj. That much into the etiquettes, you know. And then he also offered respect to Bhim. And then he hugged Arjuna. And then he blessed Nakul and Sahadev. So that is there. And same we see that here also when he's leaving, same it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam also. That same thing he does when he's leaving, taking, a request and blessings from Yudhishthir Maharaj, permission, and then meeting Arjuna in that friendly manner, and then also nourishing Nakul and Sahadev. So it's already there. When we see the pastimes of Krishna in Sandipni Muni Ashram, how he used to, do all these things, going out to pick the woods just to follow the orders, Sudama and Krishna. And he would do all the things, bringing woods and then preparing for the yagyas, serving the cows, going for the harvest, all these things. Only thing was he was expert. 64 days, 64 arts completed, everything learned. Now Guru is amazed what to teach. So that is Krishna. But there was not even a day where the Krishna did not, perform his duties in order to respect his Guru. There's not even a single day. Even to up to giving the Guru Dakshana, you know. And then there is another incident that Krishna leaving for Dwarka, which will come later on in this section, where Krishna reciprocates appropriately with all the elders accordingly, seniors, then peers and juniors. And upon reaching Dwarka, also there is properly told that how did how was he received by different persons in Dwarka. many, royal ladies and other local ladies also, they were on their terraces and they were looking at the Lord, and he was reciprocating with the eyes, and also to the friends he hugged them and he gave a smile, big smile, so I'm there. And they were joking, charging, yes, Krishna has arrived. And then when he went inside, at that age when Krishna had his daughters and sons, when he met, his mothers, Devki, Rohini, they immediately embraced him and asked him, or not asked him, they actually make him sit on her laps. That is described. And he reciprocated, not caring इतना बड़ा हो गया क्या कर रही हो माँ. Not like that, That's what we call greetings, reciprocating with the feelings what other devotees has. And then it is described that how when he meets his wives, just he knew that if I'll deal directly with the wives, they'll not be that happy. They'll be more happy if I reciprocate with the kids. So immediately he went and hugged, his sons, caressed them, kissed them. And seeing that only, the mothers, Rukmani and other ladies were very happy. Oh, how nice. And they were, when it is told that when he was embracing, like, his Pradyumna, Niruddha and everyone, they were feeling like Krishna is embracing me. So in that way, up to that depth, he was reciprocating. So at least not that much we can understand the minds of other devotees or our seniors of Prabhupada. At least whatever has been told or written, or what we know, at least that much we can reciprocate in our service. Like, so I was trying to think what I can reciprocate. So I was thinking at least I can go for book distribution. So that kind of resolution I was making for myself, because that is what is very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. So in the same way, we can also, pray for ourselves. In which way we can reciprocate to our acharyas, to our mentors, seniors, to this center, anybody, like, so much services are coming. So that's what I was thinking to meditate, doing our duties from our end. So with that, I'll end this session. Thank you very much for hearing. If you have any questions, you can ask, or we'll close this. Hare Krishna. Any question online? If it is, no. Here, if anyone wants to. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhakt Vrind ki jai.